top of the morning. We're going to be getting into some more brainwashing from the mainstream media here. Last week, if you didn't see it, I did one on the weather changes. I can't say the word because the last video got heavily shadow banned. Our click-through rate is typically anywhere between 6 and 7%. That one was 0.2. So one of the articles we'll be talking about here too is actually it's not in this one. However, I was reading an article this morning that one of the politicians here in Canada got thrown out of their caucus for questioning the weather changes, or what they like to call the CC agenda. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to catch up to speed here. But we're going to get into another one today, and as always, links are in the description. Napping, as well as sleeping too much or too little, or having poor sleep patterns, appears to increase the risk of cardiovascular disease in older adults, new research shows. The study published Tuesday adds to the growing body evidence supporting sleep importance to good health. The American Heart Association recently added sleep duration to the checklist for health and lifestyle factors for cardiovascular health, known as Life Essentials 8. It says adults should average 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night. Good sleep behavior is essential to preserve cardiovascular health in middle-aged and older adults, said the lead author. Aging Research Center in the Department of Neurobiology, Care Sciences and Society of the Karolinska Institute in Stockholm, Sweden. We encourage people to keep nighttime sleeping between 7 and 9 hours to avoid frequent or excessive napping. Prior research has shown poor sleep may put people at higher risk of range of chronic illness and conditions affecting the heart and brain. These include cardiovascular diseases, dementia, diabetes, high blood pressure, and obesity. Sleep now. Sleep is a danger. It has nothing to do with the experiment that's been going on for the past 2 years, but now we're going to blame the soil, farming, gardening. We're going to be blaming sleeping now. You can't take naps. It's too much, too little. One thing that they don't point out in this article is the age groups that are required to have this type of sleep. Also on the physical exertion. I know currently right now I am doing a program called 75 Hard that requires 2 workouts a day at 45-minute intervals, and I usually drag them out to about an hour. So once I start that routine, I know myself I need extra sleep. So you're telling me that because now I need extra sleep, I'm putting myself at risk. Okay, they're institutions. The next one we got here is Nicola Valley Hospital in Merritt, BC, so that's up here in Canada. I'd like for any of the US viewers to let us know if this is happening down there as well. It's not only happening here in this province, but it's happening across many provinces here in Canada as well, and I'm sure it's happening in the United States, just that it's not put on the news. In the hospital in Merritt, BC is the latest emergency room in the province to shut down its doors due to lack of staff, joining a series of familiar interruptions in service in British Columbia's interior. Interior Health released a statement saying the department would be closed until Monday morning. It says patients can access emergency care at Royal Inland Hospital in Kamloops, BC. For any of the viewers that don't know how far those two cities are, they're about 50 minutes to 60 minutes apart, depending on what highway you're taking. So if you're having a heart attack, you're going to have to wait an extra 50 minutes just to get to the hospital. Services were also unavailable in the South Okanagan General Hospital Emergency Department in Oliver, BC for about 24 hours this weekend, though it has since reopened. The closures come as the ambulance paramedics of BC released a statement criticizing the understaffing of ambulances, saying vehicles in Maple Ridge, Fraser Valley, and Metro Vancouver have sat idle this weekend. Union President Troy Clifford says the statement that this weekend was showcased a province-wide trend of ambulances sitting empty that seem to have no end. So those are the two articles. I'm going to elaborate a little bit on, or pontificate. Sorry, these mosquitoes are a little brutal this morning. So we're talking about a paramedic and a staffing shortage in hospitals. Was it not the government's idea to force this experimental job that we've been all, like, I haven't been forced to, like, whatever, but brainwashed into taking? Why is it that when we see nurses, doctors, paramedics, and all them leave because they don't want to take an experimental procedure, that we crucify them, and now we're crying that we don't have them on staff? And I believe since then, the restrictions have been brought back where they can come back to work. But how many people are going to want to go to a job that they got sent home because they decided not to participate in a trial, trial experiment? And I have been personally crucified by some individuals out there that I'm a conspiracy theorist and that I should be following public health guidelines. Well, let me say something here. When I see that the doctors, nurses, paramedics leaving their jobs because they are denying public health guidelines and refusing to take experimental injections in their body, that to me speaks more volumes than the public health guidelines, because a lot of these public health officials are towing the line of the federal government, who has no professionals on their roster. And these people that are leaving, the doctors, nurses, and paramedics that are leaving their jobs, that work in the industry, when they are leaving and saying, no, I would rather lose my job than take what you're giving me here, that speaks way more, because those people that are leaving their jobs have nothing to gain. Zero to gain. But those politicians and public safety officers, or whatever you want to call them, they have lots to gain. For instance, I don't need to drop an article on this one, but you can look it up. Next door in the province of Alberta, the public health officer there, whatever her name is, she got an extra $300 and some odd $1,000 on top of her $200 and some odd $1,000 salary. Now you're going to tell me that she's doing things in the best interest for the public? I'm sorry, but money talks and bullshit walks. I learned that one a very long time ago. And so when I see them getting kickbacks and a lot of these other institutions getting kickbacks to push a certain narrative, and those people that are working in the industry are losing their jobs because they are refusing to take a certain procedure, that speaks more volumes to me than the idiots that come up to me and say that I'm a conspiracy theorist and I need to follow public health guidelines. You are glad, or you should be happy, that the government didn't tell you to eat feces, because I'm sure you'd be right up to your elbows in it, gobbling it down, because that's what Big Brother said. And it's funny now that one of the organizations, I can't say it because I've gotten flagged on it before, in the US that we've been following for the past 2.5 years, have just come out that said none of that actually worked. None of it actually works. The face diapers don't work. The 3-4 Jabberwockies that you wanted to go take, they're not working. They're not working. And now you have the top doc that's in the States there that's been pushing the narrative, now also saying that there's another thing going around called polio, and that it's induced by the jabs that everybody took. So It's funny that 6 to 8 months ago, I was called a conspiracy theorist, and many of you viewers that have the same views as Kimberly and I understand that we passed one of the biggest brainwashing schemes out there, and a majority of the population fell for it. And again, I've said it before, many would rather live in a comfortable lie than an uncomfortable truth. And many are upset at us for speaking our minds, and that's fine. I'd rather be hated for who I am than loved for who I'm not. And that's where I'm going to leave that one today. I'm sorry that this channel has also become more of a rant thing, because the homesteading thing has kind of died down a little bit, because we need to keep this place in good working order, good looking order. And we are actually starting on another channel for when we do move. We'll be starting a new one, which we will be letting the viewers here know where to find us. But it'll be a completely different thing. You won't have me on here talking about this political nonsense, because it's going to be a different genre, different targeting of audiences, so on and so forth. So that's enough for today's little chat. And hopefully you have a great week. Hopefully I didn't pee on your cornflakes too bad this morning. And enjoy the rest of it. Take care.